Well, this is going to be awkward because we're both Swedish, and now I have to interview you in English. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. So I'm Madeleine from Audionord, which is a Nordic distribution company since the 60s, founded by my father, Leif Häggmark. And we've been running this show, High End show in Stockholm for 3 years now. This is the third year, taking over from the previous show organizer. So that's the short presentation.
Yeah, so you're the boss of the show, or
the boss of the show.
Sort of.
The show general, yeah.
Show general, yeah. And it's in a new location this year.
It is. We slow started a little bit in one of these venues last year, since we grew out of the previous venue. So we started last year with 4 rooms, 4 exhibitors at one of these hotels, and it turned out to be a really good experience here. The exhibitors were very happy, the visitors were also very happy, and we needed more space. And we realized that if we moved the entire show to this location and used both hotels, we would have room for more exhibitors. So yeah, we did that. We tried a new location. It turned out to be very successful. Maybe most importantly, the visitors seem to be very happy as well. They don't have to do the city tour to wander around.
It used to be like a long trek to go to the other location.
I mean, it was maybe a 7-minute walk, but
but in this weather,
now it's a 30-second walk, if even that.
Yeah, you can actually legitimately do coat check at this hotel and go to the other one in like minus 14 degrees Celsius or whatever and survive. We're literally 100 meters from the Stockholm Central Station.
Exactly, and the Arlanda Express train is maybe 20 meters away from this end.
Exactly, like if you take the express train from the airport, you don't need to wear a jacket to go to the show.
Exactly. I think that's important part of the show, to keep it a city central show, to open up for a more spontaneous crowd to come, and not only the existing enthusiasts who are willing to travel maybe 20-30 minutes out from the city to visit the show. This is one of the very important tasks, I think, that we are trying to focus on, to bring in both the already existing crowd, but also new crowd.
Yeah, that's always the chatter, right, around Hi-Fi show. It's only old men. It isn't only old men, but it could be even more diverse. Like, I guess that is the objective you're going for with the marketing strategy. Yeah,
absolutely. This is something we want to see grow. I mean, Hi-Fi came from a technical hobby, more or less. So it's understandable that it's mainly a large group of also maybe a bit older men in these shows, and they bring a lot to this, and we think that it's great to have them there, but it's also as important to bring new curious people who maybe don't have any experience about this, but as long as you have curiosity, you will find something interesting at the show.
I don't think there are any like oligarch expensive systems at this show. It is generally within reach for enthusiasts, almost everything being exhibited. Do you think that's a sign of the times?
I think it could be. I think many of the exhibitors are still providing high-end systems and in, let's say, Scandinavian terms, upper high-end systems, maybe not compared to other places in the world, but still accessible. To display something that is a dream to most people is, of course, a very interesting experience. But I also think that to exhibit audio equipment here that is within range, at least for some, can be a wise move. And I think there is some thought behind that amongst the exhibitors.
Since Audionord is also a distributor, you don't do retail sales, but you're a distributor of certain brands, so you and there are other distributors that are here exhibiting, but then you run the show. That conflict of interest, how have you navigated that?
We try to stay as neutral as possible, and we don't put ourselves first when it comes to bookings and such. So I quite confident that all of the exhibitors are comfortable with this and us running the show like this. So we are still here exhibiting as a distributor, but we are not prioritizing ourselves. We try to do this as a industry effort, and because we think it's fun as well, of course. But we want this to be a general push for the industry in Sweden, and not an Audionord show.
Yeah, and then you represent several brands that aren't here.
Absolutely. It would be almost impossible for us to have every brand in our portfolio represented at the show. And I think that's the case for most distributors, that it's impossible to have all the brands present at all the shows all the time. So you have to take them year by year and try to have all the brands, give all the brands as much attention as possible, but within reason.
So you mentioned your dad founded Audionord, and now you're taking over the family company.
Yeah.
So you grew up in a very, very hi-fi centric home, I suppose.
We had a huge hi-fi room.
I can imagine. Were you always sure this was going to be your path, or?
Absolutely not.
No, okay.
Not at all. So I was headed to be a mathematician. Mathematician is the right word. And I part-time worked at Audionord during that time.
Yeah.
Long story short, it came to a choice of roads. I had to decide which career am I going to choose here. Something was needed at Audionord, and I chose that road. And it's been a very interesting, sweaty, and learnful, is that a word?
Yeah, I guess we just made that word up, so it's a word now. That's how words work. Someone has to make them up.
Yeah. Process. Well, I've been running the company completely for, 8 years now?
Oh, wow. Okay.
And each year has become a little bit more easier, and the first years were really a challenge, but I learned a lot.
Well, you've had your dad to ask, I guess. Like,
absolutely.
How the heck does this work?
Yeah.
Why are they telling me this?
But also, I mean, he's been there as a mentor, and it's been very helpful. But also, the market has changed.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
If you're looking back the last 10, 15, 20 years, it's such a huge change in how the market works. So that's also something like we had to learn and find out ourselves, and in the new generation of Audionord. But I think by now I feel quite confident in the position, and I like it. I think it's fun. Yeah.
And about those changes of the industry, like one thing from my perspective, sort of as only a consumer up until I decided to start a YouTube channel, then it seems like there's been more of a floating boundary between distributor and retailer. And you've seen bigger retailers take on brands and represent the brands directly. Yeah. And then you've seen some that have been traditionally purely a distributor that start to step into retail sales and showrooms and so on. But Audionord, to my understanding, still remains purely a distributor. Is that a very active choice from your side? Yeah,
it is. So it's very accurate and active choice all the way. Of course, I mean, since these changes has been happening all around for several years, the discussion has always been there, but it's never really been any uncertainty in what we believe in is the right way forward. And I know that this differs a lot from country to country, but Sweden, I think, is a very good example of well-functioning distribution chain. We have quite a lot of Swedish distributors working as traditional pure distributors, working with an active retailer network, and it's working well. And this is a model I believe in. I'm not saying that these hybrid models are not working. It depends so much on several factors, like what kind of brand is it, and so on. And some brands are probably best suited for a direct import, with a direct retail channel. And there are different kind of retailers. We have the typical stores and we have the more showroom-based dealers and so on. And I think it's a good thing that there are different versions out there, but for brands that want to establish proper and well-functioning dealer network, I think the distributor, the traditional distributor, is still very important to manage a region and to make sure that the brand is represented in the best possible way. Again, it's not for every brand.
Some brands are maybe too niche for there to be a realistic dealer network in a small market like Sweden.
Exactly, and that's also one reason to us being a Nordic distributor. We have connections all over the Nordics, and some of our brands are definitely not suited for Swedish distribution. But if we're covering a Nordic region, it makes sense.
Yeah, and just for international viewers that aren't really up to speed on what the Nordic region is, what countries do you cover?
So Sweden, Norway, Finland, Denmark, and actually Iceland as well.
Yeah. And if it's Scandinavian, it belongs to the Scans, so that's a mountain range which Finland does not border on. So Finland is not Scandinavian, but it's Nordic.
Yeah, and it's very common to mix that up.
Yeah. The educational moment. What is the selection process for who flies in to represent a brand at a show and so on? And how does that work? Do you contact your sales reps for the brands themselves, brands that you represent, and ask if they want to come, or
That's common.
Yeah.
That's common, absolutely. So we do have a few international guests here at the show, coming from different countries, and it's very much appreciated, not only from our side, but also, I think, from the visitor's side, to actually have someone from the actual manufacturer speaking for the brand, being able to talk in depth about the technology and so on. So we also have our own staff to help and assist, but obviously since we are running the show, we are a bit more focused on that at the moment. But as a distributor, I know that you will find distributor staff mixed with international guests from manufacturers here, and I think that's a great combination.
What are you looking forward to, in not just with regards to your brands or whatever, but in the hi-fi industry, what are things that are on your calendar and that you're happy to have on the calendar?
Oh, like events and stuff?
Well, or maybe not even just the calendar. What are you looking forward to within the industry in general? Is there a verification of a trend actually coming to fruition, or is it, a concert you want to go to, or anything?
Well, I'm looking forward to. I think that we are seeing a kind of shift with the new generation, but also, everyone really. Everything today, including music, is so accessible. It's so you're just getting feeded with content and so on. And I think we are seeing a trend amongst younger people, especially, that are looking for a more focused experience. And I'd like to believe that there is a movement.
The anti-TikTok movement.
Yeah, that will lead up to people actually setting up an environment, maybe at home, maybe at a listening bar. These are also popping up. But to see these environments grow where people are actively choosing a focused music experience, can also be a concert, of course. But I think this is a very exciting thing. We're just barely starting to see something happening. But that will be interesting to see. If it's, I don't know if it's 2 years from now or 10 years from now, but we already have the vinyl trend, and we've seen that for some time. But yeah, so yeah.